Hey man, I'm Jusko from ProudMoney.com. The Capital One Venture X credit card getting slightly worse, and we're going to talk about that. Now on Friday, some eagle eye, and I'm not sure who exactly it was that first noticed it, but Capital One was definitely not shouting it from the rooftops. Someone noticed that on the Capital One Airport Lounge page, within the frequently asked questions that you don't even see unless you click on a little extra plus sign to get to more information, there was a note that effective January 1st of 2023, Priority Pass non-lounge airport experiences like dining, retail shopping, and spa discounts are not part of the Visa Infinite benefit program for Venture X cardholders. So you gotta love the wording the Capital One uses here. First off, they say effective January 1st, the benefit is not part of the program, instead of saying it is no longer part of the program, because they don't really want to remind you that you had it and now it is going away. And then the second part of it is saying that it is not part of the Visa Infinite benefit program, clearly wanting to push the blame onto Visa and say, hey, it's got nothing to do with us. It's not part of the Visa Infinite benefit program. Now, I will talk more about that argument in a second, but bottom line, the Priority Pass feature on the Capital One Venture X just got a little bit worse, especially when it comes to those restaurants. Now, if you are not aware, one of the features of Priority Pass, in addition to the airport lounges, is that at some airports, you could have, instead of going to the lounge, or if there's not a lounge, it might be your only choice in an airport, you could go to certain restaurants and you would get a discount on your meal. So you would just pay for your meal, but you would show your Priority Pass card and they would give you a discount on that meal. For example, if you look at Houston's George Bush Airport, and this is just one example, there are multiple lounges at this airport, but you could also choose instead to go in Terminal A and go to the Cadillac Mexican Kitchen. Terminal C's got Landry Seafood. You could go to one of those instead and you could get $28 off of your bill if you chose to eat there. And you can see how that could be attractive if the lounge is overcrowded or if the lounge is very far away from the way you would be moving through the airport, but you can access one of those restaurants. That would be pretty nice. Then obviously if you're in an airport where there is no lounge, but there is a restaurant or two available to you, well then that's a way for you to get some value out of that Priority Pass benefit. So obviously that's a little disappointing. Now American Express already did the same thing back in 2019, I think it was. They cut off the restaurant benefit within Priority Pass. And then obviously with the American Express Platinum, you're paying a lot more to have it at $6.95. So maybe that was even more disappointing. Now Chase with the Sapphire Reserve, as I make this video at least, they still have the restaurant benefit as part of Priority Pass. The card is a little more expensive at $5.50, but maybe if that's something that is important to you, maybe that changes the equation in terms of how you feel about these two cards. So my guess is the Capital One did a little cost-benefit analysis here and decided that this was something they could get rid of in order to keep the annual fee where it is and not make their cardholders too unhappy, either current cardholders or potential cardholders who are looking at the annual fee. So Visa probably said, we're gonna have to charge you more for this because people are using this benefit and we gotta push some of those costs onto you. Capital One probably looked at it and they said, well, if we take on more of these costs, we're going to have to increase the annual fee, and that $3.95 annual fee is something that we feel like our current cardholders feel really good about when compared to other high-end cards, and it's also something that potential new cardholders can look at and say, wow, $3.95 versus like $5.50 with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, $6.95 with the Amex Platinum. That is a lot easier to swallow. Just psychologically, going over that $400 annual fee mark would be something that Capital One probably wants to hold off as long as possible, and so they decided there aren't enough people that care that much about this in terms of either using it already or are even aware of it. We're just going to cut it. And you can't totally blame them for making that business decision. The Capital One Venture X still providing you a lot of value at a $3.95 annual fee. You've got a $300 travel credit per year. When you book through Capital One Travel, you're getting 10,000 extra miles, or what I think of as points, every year when you pay your annual fee. Again, on that cardholder anniversary, and you're getting 2 points per dollar on all of your purchases, and you're still getting access to a ton of airport lounges through Priority Pass. So there's plenty of value on this card, but I'm not going to totally defend Capital One here either. This is a cut, and if you're someone that was aware enough of the Priority Pass program to understand that you had access to those restaurants, it's one you might be feeling. And then just to get back to that wording, how Capital One slipped this into the frequently asked questions within that lounge section and sort of pushed the blame onto Visa, saying that this is no longer part of the Visa Infinite Benefit program, basically saying it's them, not us. It's sort of like when the cable companies or streaming services suddenly tell you that you're not going to be able to watch a channel anymore because those greedy broadcasters want more money for it and they couldn't come to an agreement. But it's not us. We want you to have the channel, but it's those terrible entertainment providers that are forcing us to take it off of the air. They want you to be mad at the other guy, not them. And it's sort of what Capital One is doing a little bit. They want you to be mad at Visa and not at them. But bottom line, doesn't matter. You are losing the benefit. Doesn't matter where it came from. Capital One could have made the choice to pay more and maybe increase the annual fee on the card, and they chose to go this route. I would love to hear your thoughts about this. If you have the Venture X already, did you know you had this benefit? Is this something that is upsetting to you? If you were someone that was considering this card, does this hurt your thoughts about it, especially if you were looking at things like the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Amex Platinum, all that kind of stuff? Would love to hear it in the comments section below. Otherwise, I thank you for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. If you're not going to leave a comment or go to the website, watch this video.